All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the End Time Truth Television channel. We urge you to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell icon by selecting all so that the next time we upload a new video, you will be among the first persons to be notified by Google. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Till then, shalom. Hello, everybody. Good day and God bless you. I'm just so glad to present this video to you. You know why I'm happy? The last time I did a video on this topic where it was reported, a certain voice note came out that Prophetess Yinka was detained in the SCOAN over the death of a certain Thai national. You know, when I was doing the video, I was objective enough, and I was like, seems like somebody was trying to pin something on the woman, maybe because of her alleged popularity and endearment to TB Joshua when he was alive. Now, a certain insider actually has come out to give a breakdown of what happened. My joy, why I'm happy, is that I know so many of TB Joshua followers who visit this channel. We are like, if it was possible to cut off my head, some said it was a lie, that nothing like that ever happened. Some said, why was I poking into their matter, that it was their family affair. You know, it was just like, you shouldn't talk anything about this. But now this lady came out, you know, to clear the air. And by the way, Prophetess Yinka has left SCOAN and she has started her own ministry. And I just watched her video on her YouTube channel, so you may want to follow her as well. Now, what all this is saying, I will see you at the end of that video. Thank you.
The tall man is someone that has been in Synagogue Church of All Nations with Daddy. He's there with his wife and his sister, so he's not alone. He has a farm, you know, by the mountain. And Daddy decided to give him a room at the prayer mountain, that anytime he walks and he's tired and there's sun, he can come in and rest. And when Daddy died, you know that everybody was broken and the crisis was going on. There was misunderstanding between Mommy Evelyn and the prophets. They were talking and trying to see how they can get a common ground. That was going on right before, even before Daddy was buried. When we went for burial, we knew that something was going on. But for me personally, I was so sure that they would be able to reconcile. So it was not something that I felt that was going to come out the way that it came out. And this thing of the prophet stole, I came out and I said it was a lie. Until today, I'm saying that it's a lie. They didn't steal. Then, this Talman issue was settled long before they even said the prophet stole. And then now I discovered that these people are leaking voice notes and it's everywhere. I saw it a month or two back. I ignored it. I was thinking it would go, but it kept coming back. And now I have to say something about it. So like I was saying, Daddy gave him a room where he can stay when he's tired. This Talman works on his farm, and then when the sun is hot, he stays over, and at times he sleeps over. He's there with his wife and his sister, so it's not as if he's alone. So the prophets were actually in prayer. They pray always. So they were at the prayer mountain praying. That's where they stay with Daddy even when Daddy was alive. So the Talman decided that he was coming to join them for the all night, because they were usually doing all night every Friday. That is Prophet Racine, Prophet Chris, Prophetess Angela, Yinka, and Anne, and those that will want to join them. So they came and joined them in the prayer vigil, and they prayed together. So he went back, and the next day he was supposed to join that Friday again. But he did not come this time to join with his sister and his wife. Apparently, maybe they didn't feel like praying that evening, you know. The prophets didn't even know that he was even coming to join them or not, because it was an open prayer. Anybody can join when you want to, right? So they didn't even know whether he was joining them that Friday or not, but he had joined them prior, so he could still come. What they did not know is that he had finished working on his farm. This prayer mountain is vast, it's very big. You can be in one side of prayer mountain and nobody will even know that you are around. I remember there was a day they went all and left me in the hostel. And I was there. Nobody even knew I was around until I came out to say, when is the boss coming to take me to church? That was when they discovered that I was around. So you can be in one side and the people will be on another side. They won't even know that you are around. So the tall man had come to the farm without the knowledge of the prophets. And then he finished his farm, which was normal. He can come anytime to his farm and sleep in the room that daddy has given to him. Even now, daddy is no more alive, but it's fine. It was given to him. It was given to him. So he went to his room and slept without the knowledge of the prophet. So the prophet did their night vigil and then they finished. So the next day in the morning, the wife and the sister came to the mountain and said, their brother came yesterday. He wanted to work at the farm, then stay in the night and do night vigil and then come back this morning. And they haven't seen him back in the church. So the mountain is just like 10 minutes away from the main church. So they didn't see him in the church and they came to look for him. So the prophets now saw them and they began to look for him. And they said, no, we didn't see him yesterday. He didn't attend the night vigil with us. So let's look for him. They now decided to go. His room was locked. And then Prophet Chris, they decided to follow through the window. Now, by this time, the sister and the wife were around. So they went through the window and they came in and they saw him lying on his bed, lifeless. So Prophet Chris now said, nobody should touch anything. You know, being a United Kingdom person, they know that evidence are important. So they said nobody should touch him, nobody should touch anything. So they waited. And Prophetess Yinka was even the one that called the police, called them to say they should call the police. And at the same time, when they are calling the police, they should call the ambulance as well. Maybe they would thought that he's dead, but there might be something to salvage while they continue in prayers. So they were praying while they were waiting. Police came almost immediately. Ambulance had arrived, you know. And then when they are about to take him, Sarah too had arrived at the scene. And then everybody was there. The police now came in. And they took this tall man. And they were like, how can a man sleep and die like this? What's happening? Is there anything that happened to him? Blah, blah, blah. And I told you the misunderstanding was already on ground. So the tension was very high. Mind you, if the tension can get to a place that they send the disciples out and they were videotaping and calling them thieves, then you should know that at this point, the tension was already high. So fingers, of course, were pointed. Me, I'm not the one to lie and cover things. Fingers were pointed, but I won't mention the name of the person that pointed finger to Yinka. So fingers were pointed. And what happened was that when fingers were pointed, they now said, okay, everybody should stay around. They are taking him for autopsy. After the autopsy, they will know whether he was strangled, he was poisoned, or something happened. And they did this autopsy. And it was shown that the man died from heart attack. He died from heart attack. So where did they say Yinka has killed someone? And this case was cleared from the beginning. It didn't even last long. Because autopsy does not take long. And police literally said there's no case. So this thing was closed. The case was cleared few weeks before the prophet and the prophetesses were asked to leave Synagogue Church of All Nations and the disciples were kicked out. So I don't know why this thing is still resurfacing. I even saw a man, old man, you're so old, you should speak with wisdom, came out yesterday to say that if this is true, then he cannot call her a prophetess again. You are not the one that ordained her. God ordained her, and God knows his own. So if you hear little allegation, you have not gotten it from a solid foundation. Do you even know the name of the person that did the voiceover? Do you know the motive of the person that did the voiceover? Can't you see that the person is happy in that voiceover? Those are the people that did not like the fact that the prophets and the prophetesses and the disciples were the ones closest to Prophet TB Joshua and not them. You can hear she was talking from a place of bitterness and what have you not. And you now put it and then everybody is carrying it. I know you're carrying it for view, but I'm doing this video so that there will be a voice that will give you the actual thing that happened in Synagogue Church of All Nations. So Prophetess Yinka did not kill the tall man. The tall man died from his sleep and he died from heart attack. His wife and his sister were around. And Prophetess Yinka was with the prophets praying, doing night vigil. So she even had an alibi and she had everything. So I don't know. Can you people stop and allow Synagogue Church of All Nations to move? To move on. and let the prophets and the prophetesses move on as well. Having said that, this is where I go. Please share this video. Share this video. If you can put the link in every YouTuber or every blog that has blogged this story, put it. This is the true story. Prophetess Yinka did not kill anyone.
So thank you. With this, we have come to the end of the video. But one thing I really need to say here is that we should mellow. We should take it easy. You know, when we become sentimental about everything and we become fanatical about Christianity, it makes it religious, and religiosity doesn't take anybody anywhere. Why I'm saying this is that I know when I reported this, from the tone of the woman that did that voice note, actually, she was celebrating the so-called downfall of Prophetess Yinka. I didn't know Yinka, you know, from anywhere, but if you should go back to that video that I did, you would understand that I said, for me, I think that that was a setup because of Yinka's popularity, either with TB Joshua or with the people. And so it was a kind of a payback time. So I, you know, sincerely believed that she wouldn't have, and that was the witness in my spirit, that she wouldn't have anything to do with it. A lot of you guys who claim to be followers of things happening in SCOAN, many of you denied that anything even happened. And some of you were like, we should stop talking about SCOAN. And I tell you the truth, we cannot stop talking about SCOAN. If you want us to stop talking about SCOAN, then it means that SCOAN will stop to exist. There are so many churches that we don't know their names and they are in existence. And because we don't know them, we don't talk about them. And if anybody brings, you know, their issues and the issues are verified, you know, they will likely come up. But then SCOAN has risen. It is difficult for SCOAN not to be talked about. All right. So I wish that we get used to it and, you know, also get used to the truth. For me, I don't report matters because, you know, I just want to report them. As a matter of fact, there are so many things I should have said. There are so many things I should have reported, but I chose not to report them because so many of them are not edifying enough. And I know how I can talk and I will win over everybody that is a member of SCOAN, but I'm not actually looking at winning over anybody. I'm here to do what I think is right, you know, for the kingdom of God. So God bless you. To those of you that felt or that still feel that we are offending you by talking about your church, synagogue, I'm sorry, but we cannot just stop, all right? It is not our fault that SCOAN has grown to the point where she cannot be overlooked. That is just the fact. And so when we say things about her, we try to be as factual as possible as we can. When we get the information, we don't add our own, we don't add, we don't subtract. We just try to present it as it is. Admittedly, sometimes we may be wrong, but in all these things that has been happening, you know, there seems to be confirmation of everything that we have said. When we talked about the prophetess and the prophets being, you know, evicted or being, you know, sidelined by the wife of TB Joshua, some of you came here, you said it's a lie. Nothing like that has happened. When we reported that some disciples were evicted, you said it is a lie, or it was a lie, that we were lying, that nothing happened. You know, but now, at least you saw that the resumption of services in SCOAN actually has proven that those prophets and the prophetesses and the disciples are no longer part of the happenings in SCOAN for now. And the Yinka of a person herself has also, you know, gone her own ways, and she has started her own online ministry. You know, she has recently released a statement, you know, and she tried hard enough to, you know, not bring in not to leave any trace of acrimony or bitterness in her speech. So she tried and you know, involved almost everybody in her speech, and that sounded like a parting shot. All right, so she started by saying that there is time for everything. So I guess that she is announcing to the whole world that the time came for her, you know, to be the person she is today. And everybody should just be okay with it. Leaving no details. But we know that even that alone is audible enough. Well, thank you very much for being there. God bless you. I'll be seeing you in the next video. And share the video, like it, and God bless you. From me to you, shalom.